The View co-host Whoopi Goldberg tore up a note co-host Sunny Hostin passed to her on Monday that asked her to clarify a statement she made earlier in the show, which she said was a joke, about President Donald Trump using an autopen. The co-hosts were discussing Trump's interview with 60 Minutes during Monday's show. Hostin noted that Trump had pardoned Changpeng CZ Zhao, the convicted founder of Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, and pointed to the president's remarks during the interview, during which he said he didn't know anything about the pardon or Zhao. The Trump family has made about $1.8 billion, profited off of this government, and he said that Joe Biden didn't know who he was pardoning using an autopen. "How come you don't know who this guy is?" Hostin said. Goldberg then chimed in and joked, because he used an autopen. Later in the program, Hostin wrote on a note card and passed it to Goldberg as she was speaking. "What the hell? What?" Goldberg said as she took the note. "We don't know if Trump used an autopen to pardon, it was a joke." Goldberg started to tear up the note and hit back at the need for a clarification. Hostin repeated the clarification and said they didn't know if Trump used an autopen for the pardon. "I'm sorry. The hardest thing about this job now is no one understands nuance. You know when you hear a joke, when somebody is fooling around, when they're not saying something specific. Especially on this show. I'm very specific when I'm pointing stuff out. When I'm making jokes, you know when I'm making jokes. This is ridiculous," Goldberg said. The audience applauded Goldberg as she continued to rail against the president's immigration policies. "One thing that really upsets me about all of this is that when people do it legally, everybody BA'd and moaned and said they're not doing it legally, so people are showing up when they're supposed to be showing up at court, and you're scooping them up for immigrant checks. And this is how you treat them. So how should we believe anything you're saying when we saw how folks in Chicago were treated over the weekend? We saw that. We see what's going on. We see what happens when children are in court by themselves. Come on now, you know exactly what you're doing, and you seem to be having a good time while you're doing it," she said.